Larry Martinez. Many of you know he is a police officer here in Prescott. His son, Lance Corporal Michael Martinez, was badly injured in Afghanistan and lost both his legs in an IED attack in Afghanistan. Michael Martinez is what America is all about, and he is 19 years old. He just lost both his legs. He's at Bethesda. He had a very long operation yesterday. He will be well, and he's in our thoughts and prayers. As you know, Larry Martinez is a police officer in Prescott. His wife is a police dispatcher. They are at Bethesda Naval Hospital with him now. Could I ask your indulgence, maybe just to stand for a moment, and we'll say a short prayer, a silent prayer for the Martinez family and Michael Martinez. Thank you very much. And you know, I'd be glad to, I work for you. I work for you, and I want to hear from you. And so I'd like to make some remarks about obviously primarily about health care. Americans are angry. Americans have never been so angry. They have never, in my entire life, seen the frustration and anger that's going on. And I would say that you never in history has there ever been a major reform that's been done on a partisan basis. Every major reform that's taken place in history has been done on a bipartisan basis. The overwhelming majority of the American people are saying to the President and the Speaker of the House and the Majority Leader, stop, start over. Stop, start over. That's what America wants. And we don't like this game down on the close corner in the name of reconciliation. Just yesterday, the governor of our state and our distinguished Majority Whip, Senator Steve Pierce, who is here. Steve, where are you? Steve, thank you for your good work. Thank you very much, Steve. And our Majority Whip, Andy Tobin, is here. Andy is here. Thank you, Andy, for your great work. And Lucy Mason would have liked to have been here, but it's her anniversary. Congratulations, Lucy. Here's what Jan Brewer just wrote to the President of the United States. Dear Mr. President, you have repeated on several times that the debate on health care reform was consumed the past year, and you most recently called on Congress to vote the measure up and down. As the governor of a state that is bleeding red ink, I am imploring our congressional delegation to vote against your proposal to expand government health care and help vote it down. I am proud of the governor of our state. I am proud of Steve Pierce. I am proud of those people that are standing up against it. I've got one more letter here that I want to read you a copy of. As you know, Banner Healthcare is the largest healthcare provider in the state of Arizona. This is a letter from Peter Fine, the CEO of Banner Health in Phoenix. And it's a letter to me and Senator Kyle and the rest of the delegation. The President's called on Congress to pass this legislation, blah, blah, blah. This legislation would greatly expand Medicaid at a tremendous cost to Arizona. Our state cannot afford its current Medicaid program, and your support of H.R. 3590, that's the bill, would be fiscally irresponsible. My friends, what we're talking about is our children's futures. What we're talking about is whether we're going to do what every generation of Americans has done throughout this history, and that is we have passed on to our children and our grandchildren a better nation than the one that we inherited. We cannot do that. We cannot do that when we have 43 cents out of every dollar that we spend is borrowed in Washington. 43 cents. We can't do it. We can't do it. With a $2 trillion debt that's grown since January of 2009. $2 trillion we have added to the debt. We can't do it passing a $787 billion stimulus. By the way, with interest, that's $1.1 trillion. 14,000 earmarks in 2 omnibus appropriations bills. $3 trillion, $800 billion in the President's budget. for $83 billion to bail out Chrysler and General Motors. Who thought ever that we would be buying out Chrysler and General Motors and GMAC and Freddie and of course this latest, what we're facing today, $2.5 trillion debt on future generations of Americans. Unless we understand the fiscal calamity that we're in, then we can't. We need to understand that in context of the what we're facing maybe in the next couple of days. Now, let me just talk to you 1 second about the earmarks. Okay, earmarks. Earmarks is corruption, my friends. I've seen it. Earmarks is corruption. Earmarks is corruption. Now, I've got to give you some straight talk. I had an amendment on the legislation just 2 days ago that said that we would do away with all earmarks until we have a balanced budget. If somebody wants to do earmarks when we have a surplus, well, I don't like them, I don't want them, but at least let's not do it while we have a $12 trillion deficit on future generations of Americans. It was voted down 69 to 26. I'm sorry to tell you that there were 15 Republican senators that voted to keep the earmarks in being. Republicans still haven't figured out that the reason why we lost the 2002, 2006, and 2008 elections is because we let spending get out of control and the American people are tired of it and the American people. I'd like to have the lights up some more, if possible. Can't do it. Can't do it, okay? And we'll talk in the dark here. So, my friends, this earmarking and pork barreling goes on, and Washington still has not gotten the message. Let me just tell you another thing that happened just yesterday. Caterpillar. I'm sure you know that Caterpillar is one of the largest manufacturers of farm equipment in the world, okay? And they also are great exporters. People all over the world, countries all over the world. Caterpillar Incorporated said, I quote, Caterpillar Incorporated said the healthcare overhaul legislation being considered by the U.S. House of Representatives would increase the country's healthcare costs by more than $100 million in the first year alone. What do you think is going to happen if they have to pay an additional $100 million? One, they will of course pass the cost on. Two, they will be non-competitive with the Japanese and other people who make competitive equipment. So we're talking about more than just a government healthcare takeover, okay? And now let me just talk to you for a couple minutes about how phony this CBO estimate is, very quickly. You know what? You saw it across the headlines on the more liberal networks, if you watch them, and you know, CBO scores $138 billion surplus. CBO says, well, first of all, CBO is like any computer, garbage in, garbage out, okay? The second thing is that they left out a number of provisions besides the false assumptions, and one of them, and I'll be glad to go through more of them with you, is the so-called doc fix, okay? That physician payments, according to a previous law, are supposed to be cut by some 21% this year unless we do something about it. Do you believe that we're actually going to cut physician payments for treatment of Medicare patients by 21%? Of course not. In fact, the Speaker has already just put the word out, don't worry, we'll fix the doc thing. But right now, let's pass this. It's sleaze, my friends. It's sleaze. It's sleaze. That happens to be around $281 billion. So there really isn't, if you count the so-called doc fix, physician payments, there really isn't a surplus. And when you look at the fact, let me just add, anybody here, please raise your hand if you think we're going to cut $500 billion in Medicare. Please raise your hand, please. We're not. We're not. And if we're going to reduce fraud, abuse, and waste, which we must do, why don't we start today instead of waiting until we make some kind of legislation?